The blonde-bearded people, defending the Muslim outposts, walked during a historical period in which the Crusader forces fought against the Muslims in Islamic Andalusia, so they drove them out of their homes, tightened the stranglehold on them, and worked in them, killing, displacing, insulting and plundering them, until the world became too narrow for them to welcome. The savior hero appeared as a shooting star in the dark sky. He extended a helping hand to those who refused all help, and provided assistance when the help was attributed to the people in need of it. During that historical period, the Spanish forces moved to attack the Islamic Maghreb under the banner of the Crusader, and these forces occupied coastal cities, destroying mosques, violating sanctities, and plundering wealth and money. The owners of blonde beards went to give what they could in order to support their brothers in religion. So they ruled the most wonderful epics and the greatest victories, and the fields of jihad on land and sea knew their virtues and influence. So was their immortality, which was revered in the hearts of Arabs and Muslims, not only in the Islamic Maghreb, but in every Arab world and the rest of the Muslim world. And those with blonde beards are an attribute that the French, gave to that family whose members lead the jihad operation in the sea, Barbarossa, to the group of Mujahideen brothers. These brothers grew up on the island of Medeli, from the sea of the archipelago, to a Turkish father named Yaqub bin Yusuf, who was married to an Andalusian woman, and she bore him 4 sons, Ishaq, Haro, Khazraf, and Muhammad Elias. The father was keen to raise his children in a solid Islamic way. The eldest son chose the path of knowledge and proceeded with his Islamic studies, while the rest of the brothers went to jihad, and chose the sea as their field. Aaron was the one who opened the way to his brothers, as he rode the sea and was only slightly over 10 years old. After a short period of time, he was able to prepare his own boat. He commanded it himself, but he did not go far away until the enemies captured him in the seas of the east, so he worked in oars and was shackled in his leg for 2 years. But he managed to escape, as he threw himself into the sea while he was near the coast of Egypt, and from there he sailed back to his island of Medley, where his father and brothers were. However, he nearly fell captive again, and he was near the Turkish coasts of Karaman, so he was honored by Korkun, son of Sultan Bayezid, who was in charge of the Emirate of Karaman, and he saw in him a prominent soldier and a brave fighter. He had a pirate ship, and he was sent as an invader in the seas of Italy, where the war against Islam and Muslims was at its most intense. So he seized 2 ships carrying valuable goods that belonged to the Pope's state, seized other Italian ships. He returned it to the port of Alexandria, after he had paid the 5 of the spoils to the house of the Muslims' money. Then he rowed back to the sea at the head of his small fleet, after joining him with the ships he had seized. And the group of tough Mujahideen joined under his banner, and he decided to throw his weight in the Western Mediterranean, and in Andalusia, his mother's home in particular. He chose the island of Jerba as a base for his activity. There he was joined by his brother Khosra. He became like him at the head of a pirate warship, and they proceeded from there to the direction of Andalusia. They support Islam and save Andalusian refugees to the Moroccan enemy. And they suffer in the Christian fleets and destruction in families. There the Christians gave the title Barbaros to each of the 2 brothers, Aro and Khosrav. There, too, some Andalusians and Moroccans suggested to Khosrav that he change his name, and from that hour on, they called him Kara al-Din. The Banu used to rule Tunisia, Tripoli and the Algerian East, and in the year 1510 AD, Sultan Hafsid Abu Abdullah Muhammad decided to seek the help of these two heroes to protect the religion and the state from the Christian raids and their naval attacks, and to make what they paid from 1/5 of the spoils. A resource to support the treasury of the state that was not prosperous, so they cut them off from the port of Galat, and they used it as a base to fight against Islam. The two brothers, Uro and Khayr al-Din, left their new base with a force of 3 small ships, and when Ogla at sea collided with a large warship, 300 Spanish soldiers were transporting from Naples to Barcelona. The Naples ship was more powerful in size and artillery fire than the group of 3 ships. In spite of this, the brothers, Uro and Khayr al-Din, decided to attack it in retaliation for the crimes committed by the Spaniards against Muslims. And the 3 small ships rushed in an attempt to capture the ship, but these were able to benefit from their huge firepower. The attempts of the Islamic ships were thwarted 7 times in a row, and in the 8th attack, after Uro was severely wounded, Khayr al-Din managed to reach the enemy ship, threw himself over it, and the Mujahideen quickly joined him, and they were able to seize the ship after a violent and cruel battle, and they captured everyone in it, and took it to the Galat anchorage while carrying its banner. In recognition of the beauty of Sultan Abu Abdullah Muhammad, the brothers Uro and Khayr al-Din brought to him in a luxury beyond description the luxurious gifts, which they gained in addition to the legal fief. The gifts included a number of senior and female prisoners. The Sultan's admiration and appreciation for what intensified. Khayr al-Din went on to practice his activities, even if his brother Uro was cured of his wounds. He joined him and set out to work together in the year 1512 AD. That was the beginning.
Enemy forces have destroyed an entire unit. The enemy has killed our general. The men lose heart.
I hope it hurts you, master. Ha! Now we begin to
losing faith. The enemy is boarding one of our ships!